top 3 stocks for next week. Number 1 is going to be BioNano. With the sector rotation back into tech and high growth stocks on the horizon, right? For me, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Because I mean, it's been since February 16th. That is the last time that we had high growth doing well. Since that, it's been carnage. We've got a couple dead cat bounces, really, but not much else. It's just been dead cat bounces, and I think that this is where a lot, especially with a couple of these stocks right here. These are my positions here. A couple of these, in particularly these 3 right here, I would say, especially these 2. They are due for a bounce, and they are due for a correction in the upwards direction. And I think next week is, especially with the jobless claims, horrible jobless claims report that we got today, that could be the first of many catalysts that kind of set in motion a sector rotation back into low cap, high growth, tech heavy stocks. I think that can certainly happen. And with the NASDAQ doing what it did today, fairly bullish close to the end of the day. I don't want to say super bullish because we are not out of the crucial level that we wanted to close above, but we are very close to it. I think there's a high likelihood of some of the high growth sector doing well next week. But of course, there's a ton of headwinds. We've got the Biden capital gain increase tax bill that has been going around, right? There's not that many updates on that recently, to my knowledge. We got bond yields. We've got earnings still. We've got important earnings next week, and also speaking of earnings, that's actually the number 1 reason why I think BNGO may have a big week next week. May 13th is earnings. That's going to be next week. It's Thursday, May 13th. We're going to be streaming that, and I think we've already talked. I'll put a card at some point in the video and link it, going over the earnings implications for BioNano. But I think that is going to be something that could kickstart the stock back to life, essentially. It could certainly do that, especially if we get some Sapphire 2.0 great news, which can certainly happen. MP is number 2, and this stock has gotten killed, although it barely missed earnings. It's down 5%. It was up like 3% this morning, and it just was slowly bleeding all the way down to being 5% in the red. Now, on this one, I did take profits yesterday, but next week, I think this one could be faring very well, because it missed the earnings per share estimate barely, but the sales beat the estimates. The revenue is doing well. So does an 8% sell-off justify? Is that justified? Do you think so? No, absolutely not. And of course, a lot of people were expecting MP's earnings to be great. So they were buying in before in anticipation of great earnings. It wasn't great earnings. It was around expected. But nonetheless, this is already a profitable company with a ton of growth left to be seen. And this is an overreaction, in my opinion. Also, if we just look at the chart here, are you kidding me? Yeah, this is macroscopically, you're in an overreaction. This is obviously an overreaction because this is a high growth stock. This is a former SPAC, I believe, and it's gotten killed with a lot of other stuff. And yeah, it's in the same boat as many others, but this is at the second lowest level, basically, that it's been at since the 420, right? So this is going to be, I think we're going to be likely to see some green next week for MP Materials. Number 3 is JMIA. This stock has had a really interesting couple of days, up 3% of the day, finishing very strong, strongest stock on the watch list here. This is a stock that I added a ton of shares yesterday during that crazy sell-off. We were down even yesterday when it was, oh my gosh, that was insane. But anyway, Citron has had a lot of crazy stuff going on. Citron, one of their researchers thinks that JMIA could be a buyout target, and we still barely went up. Although we are extremely undervalued. Now, this is an e-commerce stock that is going to take over Africa, essentially. It's going to. It already has. E-commerce is obviously better than going to the store physically. There are so many benefits to it. They essentially have a monopoly. There's economies of scales and differential advantages that JMIA already has set up in their relatively short span of being an e-commerce giant in Africa. So this stock is fundamentally worth more than its current market cap, and I think it could be due for some nice bullish price action next week. Current positions and price targets. These are the price targets. For those of you, I know most of you are not like this. This is just for a very select few of you. There are some people who think I never admit when I'm wrong, and even if I never did, and I do, we're going to get into that, but even if I were to try to ignore my faults, I go over this literally every video I go over the current position. So it's not like I have to say anything if I'm getting these wrong. I'm getting these wrong, but I do admit my faults even more than that. More than just showing what I'm wrong and right. The green ones are correct. The red ones are wrong, right? Here's the accuracy for the first 2 month out price targets. It's about to go my accuracy is about to be way less than 50%. It's going to be way less because these price charts, I think I've gotten most all of these wrong. Yeah, most all of these are going to be wrong. I think CTXR might have hit. That's like the only one, literally, besides the microvision that we've hit this month. So yes, I admit when I'm wrong. And yes, I show my portfolio every day. Not every video. Some videos I forget, but nearly every video I show my portfolio. Here it is. This is the portfolio, my friends. So you cannot tell me whatever. You guys already know the spiel. These are the end of year price targets, and microvision we've already hit, which I feel so great about. We first called microvision out, humble brag right here. We first called it out when it was $10. It has at highs more than 3x'd. Obviously I made a killing on microvision. I've also lost a lot of money on microvision. Overall, I'm still green on it. But yeah, this has been it's been a crazy run. Even though BioNano and a lot of our high growth stocks are getting killed, it's still been a hell of a run since February 4th when the channel was since the channel inception. So those are the current positions and price targets. Relevant information in regards to the title has finished now. The title is a joke. That is for the Dogecoin video, which check the Dogecoin video if you want to. I guess that kind of is a major spoiler. But what do we do now? BNGO full due diligence for my friends, for my followers. Yes, you've heard this a lot, but if you want to support the channel in any way, also if you want to increase the BioNano volume, interest, and stock price, potentially, indirectly, pretty directly, go pump the BNGO full the video. Description as well, there's a bunch of cool stuff down there. Merchandise is here, my friends. Let me go ahead and do this, okay? So this is what the merch looks like right here. One of them, this is the t-shirt. Very sick, very sweet. Whoever the graphic designer of this is a genius. Oh, that would be me. I'm a genius. I'm messing around. That's a little over the top. You guys know what I mean, though. But yeah, merchandise is ready, and that's going to be found in the description, my friends. There's a ton of free auspicious links down there. If you go give it a look-see, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one.